Right, 39 minutes past the top of the hour, and welcome to Friday. And today I want us to have a class of literature. I know you're like, it's been long since we had one of those, and one of those English classes where you actually get to look at books, really, and poem books actually. And this is actually very interesting. I'll be going through all this with you, slowly by slowly. But then first, let me introduce the guest this particular evening, Joshua Kyama. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Happy new month.
Happy new month.
Imeanza vizuri?
Yeah, niko fiti sana.
The month of love.
Yeah.
Tutakuwa tunaongelea all that, poets and love and all that.
Yes.
But then introduce yourself to us.
So Joshua Kyama is a poet. I'm a spoken word artist. I'm an author of whispers and other poems. I'm also a co-author of Songs of the Winds. And I'm also a co-author of an international book I've done with poets from abroad. It's called Black Lives Matter. It's into Indian books of record and Asia. I'm also working on several novels. So with time, Joshua Kyama is also a son and a student.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, bado jeka hiyo title ya husband up.
Bado.
How old are you though?
I'm 22 years.
22 years na hizo accolades zote.
Yeah.
Wow. When did you start doing all this?
So, while...
Right now you're sounding like Thiongo. Thiongo?
Yeah,
Ngugi Thiongo.
Yeah.
With his old age.
Yeah.
And you're just 22 years old.
Yes.
You've accomplished all this. Yeah. Co-authoring this, and now this one. This is your first book?
Yeah. This is my first book, but I have other manuscripts. Yeah.
Okay. When did you start?
So, while in high school, I had love for poetry, but I never wrote. So my mom used to write for me poems, and she would send in my phone. And then the interest kept on growing. So I was poetically saved in 2020. That's when I decided to dip my legs into the sweet waters of poetry. Yeah, so
which is your favorite poem that your mom, ni gani unakumbuka sahi yenye your mom used to send you?
It was about my son. Yeah.
But you will obviously have to give us that venye ilikuwa inaenda.
Yeah. So the poem, it was back in 2018. So she would say, every sunrise, I rise with your smile. And every mile you take, I'll always be by your side. And every mile you take, I'll always be by your side. And even the days winds may sway you to a bad weather, I'll always hold you. Even when the sun sets, I want to set by your side. You are my sun. You shine brighter like the sun.
Where? So I'm getting the vibes of ni kama kila mtu kwa hii nyumba ni either poet or a creative.
Yeah, not really kila mtu, but my mom. Yeah.
Your mom? Yeah. So your mom inspired you to get into poetry? Yeah,
my mom inspired me.
Hey.
Yes.
Which is her favorite? Is she watching tonight?
Yeah, she's watching.
Which is her favorite piece?
Our favorite piece, it's in my book. Yeah, it's called While You Are Away.
While You're Away.
Yeah.
A small snippet of it before we actually get to know how this journey of poetry and writing has been.
So it's in page 34.
Page 34, all right.
Yeah, it's page 34. So this
is literally a literature class for me today.
Yeah.
While You Are Away.
So while you are away, we were born inventors with tastes like investors. Our future never shrinked. In success, we were affiliated. While you were away, our mindset could not sway. We were trust blinded, out of pain and burdened, and we became hope bonded. While you were away, we saw the camera, we got into hustling, and our country never perished. By scars, we were strengthened. While you were away, we struggled the enemy. We defied failure, and we fought the dream killer, saying chants of positivity.
I remember back in high school, the English teacher, or the teacher of English.
Yeah.
You should say the teacher of English.
Yeah.
And after reading this poem, we'll ask, so who is the persona here?
So I was the persona.
So you're the you here.
Yeah, I'm the you. So when I was writing this poem, like when I was growing up back in the village, you know, my friends like how vijana tu niligrow now walikuwa wanapenda tu kuendesha bicycles
in village gani?
Yeah, in Mwani village. Yeah, in Makueni County.
Shout out to all the Mwani guys out there.
Yeah. So walikuwa wanapenda tu kuendesha bikes, kucheza ball, but Joshua was different. So like I loved books, writing. Adikas kwa na like najua kuandika, ungenipata tu na pen, books. Yeah. So that was Joshua. So while they were away playing football, maybe watching football, riding bicycle, I was inventing myself. Yeah. I was proving myself into this world of poetry. Yeah, and that's me.
So kuicheza nini football. I'm trying to remember kuna jina tulikuwa tunaita ile boli ya karatasi.
Yeah.
Ilikuwa tunacheza nayo. Nimesahau hiyo jina. But au kunachezanga hiyo kitambo?
Nilikuwa nacheza but interest yangu iko hapo sana unaona. Yeah, so I was playing maybe to make my friends happy but my mind was not there.
All right.
Yeah.
Journey ilikuwaje getting into now into the competitive world ya kuandika hizi books, kupatana na you know accomplished authors and people who write anthologies kama hizi, how's the journey been?
So after 2020, after I was poetically saved, so I started
poetically saved.
Yes, I was poetically saved.
Poets mtanionyesha mambo.
Venye watu kwa kanisa unaona wanasema nimeokoka. So I was poetically saved.
Wewe. Some musician atasema nini?
Musicians
lyrically saved.
Yeah.
Wewe.
So after I was poetically saved, I started reading a lot of books, So like nilianza dream ya I have a dream of I want to read over 1,000 books maybe before I reach 30. So like every week I have to read a book. So kuna my favorite book, it's called Alchemist. We have 5 AM Club. Those are one of my favorite books, like zimenimenta as a poet. So after I was poetically saved in 2020, hiyo mwaka I was featured kwa gazeti, it's called Mount Kenya. So after that nikakuwa na passion. My passion was growing. So I started writing a lot of poems, nafanya mistakes, but I was not giving up. So nikaendelea kuandika, interacting with different poems until I met editor wa Streeters Publication Center, anaitwa Kipto. He saw my work, he told me, hey Joshua, I've seen your great work, you can be a great author, not only in poems but in maybe novelist, yeah. So nikakuwa, hiyo passion grow, and then like I was into poetry. Everything to me ikakuwa art. Everything nikiona, it's about poetry.
Nangeletu hivi breakfast asubuhi.
Poetry.
This tea with this sugar.
Yeah.
And the bread.
Yeah.
Poetry.
Yeah.
How long do you take to write poetry? I've asked a couple of poets this question, and the answers always vary. I was just looking at it, and it came, and I started writing it. Yeah. How long do you sit down? Una phrase, unaandika, for example, kama Illusion, I can see on page 35.
Yeah.
How long do you sit and do a piece?
So most of the times it's 1 minute.
Wow.
But unajua kuna ile time una moral.
1 minute.
Yeah.
So in the next 1 minute, you can actually come up with a piece right now.
Yeah, I can.
About TV47.
Yeah, about TV47.
Anza.
So leo nimetoka Rongai nikakuja CBD. CBD. So nikakam TV47. And I'm sure all the counties mmetune in from county number 1, 001 to 47. Wajua TV47 kwetu ni kama transformer. Juu daily inawa transform. Najua TV47 kwetu ni kama twizy lights. Daily ina enlighten our life. TV47 kwetu ni kama two whispers. Daily ina whisper about what is going around the country. TV47 kwetu ni kama KPLC. Daily inatupea two light. TV47 kwetu ni kama screen. Juu daily tunawawatch. TV47 kwetu ni kama books. Juu daily tunasoma tu titles zenu. Hizo headline. TV47 kwetu ni kama tu gazeti. Juu daily Nation inawasoma.
What? Hey. I definitely ulikuwa na hiyo ukikuja ulikuwa umefikiria hiyo imekuja sahi hapa.
Imekaa mtu
hapo tu sasa hivi.
Yeah.
Wewe acha. Hauku umekram hiyo kitu kutoka Rongai.
Sijakram.
Unajua venye Rongai hadi town ni mbali.
Yeah, ni mbali.
Rongai hadi town ni mbali my guys. So hiyo jani yote ulikuwa umekram uko na hapana.
Hizo madu za Rongai hiyo kelele iko hapo huwezi kram.
Huwezi fikiria. Hiyo hujafikiria imekam tu sasa hivi.
Yeah, imekam sasa.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, TV47 ni kama transformer.
Yeah.
We.
Daily inatupea transformation.
Hey. Wow.
Yeah.
These titles, okay, kama hii While You Are Away, Illusion, and some big words. Let me real quick take a look at Daddy's Decisions hapa. People change like the chameleon blend. Do you come up with these titles?
Yeah. So for example, tuseme unajua hii book nikiita Whispers. You know Oprah Winfrey in one of her speeches she says that like kila kitu, everything before we start, it starts with a whisper. So the reason I called my book Whisper, hadi wewe seme before you started your show ama kuhanga your news, hizo whispers zilikuwa zishakam, like it's a whisper. So before you have
kulikuwa na whisper director akiniambia.
Yeah. So hizo whispers ndio unaziweka in practice. Like every dream you have inaanza tu kama whisper. It's like a thought. So ni wewe like uamue when utaiweka into practice. So that's why unaona like hapa people are thinking it's a whisper. Ni hizo two thoughts ziko kwa mind.
I think we can later on have a whole close up ndio pia the audience can see what we actually talking about and when your book inaka. How much is this book by the way?
It's 500.
500 bob.
Yeah, only 500.
Only 500 bob.
Yeah.
This is your first book. So kuna zingine ziko jikoni? Oh, right.
Yeah, kuna zingine.
Right. Some director pale na make sure watu waone.
Yeah.
Okay, ndio hiyo. So 500 bob?
Yeah, it's only 500.
Any other books that are cooking?
Yeah.
Or anthologies?
Yeah, mingi sana. Mingi.
Please, could you share with us? Maybe?
Yeah. So kuna a novel I'm writing. It's called The Streets. So like niko na hiyo mentality and then mindset, nimetoka village back in it was 2019 and then nimekaa in the streets of Nairobi. So niko Nairobi. So nikikaa Nairobi kuna building mingi. So I expect watu tu wako kwa hizo building. But kwa streets watu wanatembea wengi. Unaelewa? Naenda street kama tuseme naenda kama River Road. So mimi mentality yangu ya village nikisikia River Road, I expect kuna rivers ziko hapo. Sijui kama unanirada, like hizo roads zinapitia juu ya rivers. But nikienda pale rivers naona si hizo rivers like like prostitution hizo rivers.
So ukifikiria afya center nini inafai kuwepo? So
nikikama afya center like na expect like watu nitapata hapo wako na good health nini, but ukikama hapo like watu kuna beggars nini. Yeah, but me niko na expect people have good health nini. Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely have to wait for that. Yeah. I think we have like 1.5 minutes. Real quick, how important is it for creatives to put down their thoughts in, books and all that? Yeah,
ukiweka your thoughts into books, like generations and generation to come watasoma. Yeah, so like books zinaka like ukiona like William Shakespeare hizo back in 1610 vitabu zake ziko. So like the only way tunaweza retain our culture, our thoughts, like generation and generation to come wasome, it's only through books.
Right.
Yeah.
Your final words as we wrap up.
So my final words is I say art is life and so it's poetry. So every time nataka kuambia tu world, we as artists, me as a poet, we are coming for the world because kila kitu into our world, it's poetry. And so Bruce Lee once said that I cannot fear a man who has practiced 10,000 kicks, but I can fear a man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. So like kila kitu unafanya, just that one kick, you practice 10,000 times, na utakuwa perfect, utakuwa a veteran.
Right.
Yeah.
Joshua Kyama, thank you for coming through.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely have to wait for this book. Remember, you can always buy this book.
Yeah.
At where can they buy this book?
For now, like they can maybe get my contact. Yeah.
Right. So your contact, very fast, ndio wanunue?
It's 07 05 31 90 59.
Pole tena?
07 05 31 9059.
All right. Thank you, Chama, for coming through. And that is where we wrap up this particular edition of Friday. And because it's a Friday, I definitely have to do the whole roll call. Director Sam, producer Lydia. Behind the camera is Noshte, and Sam Kusound and Jen on Matters Graphics. Catherine Simaloi has been on the sign language interpretation. Oh, Eric Piakwa graphics. My name is Stanley Nyurungit. Have you